Hi, this is Dale O'Shields, pastor of Church of the Redeemer in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Thank you so much for joining me for our devotional time today. We're talking this week about the word hope, and we're learning how we can really lean into God with hope for our life. The Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, there abides three things: faith, hope, and love. The greatest of these is love. But notice that hope is right in between the faith and the love. You can't really sustain your faith, and you can't really have ongoing love without having this thing called hope. I'm going to talk today about how you have hope in the face of certain losses that you go through. Sometimes when you lose something in life, it's really difficult to hold on to your hope. But I want you to remember that God is the God of hope, even in the face of your losses. Let me take you to a story in Luke chapter 8. I'm going to pick up the story in verse 49. It's a story of a man by the name of Jairus. He was a synagogue ruler during the time of Jesus' ministry, and he had come to Jesus with the request of Jesus to come to his house to heal his daughter. Notice what happens here beginning in verse 49 of Luke chapter 8. While Jesus was still speaking, someone came from the house of Jairus, the synagogue leader. "Your daughter is dead," he said. "Don't bother the teacher anymore." Hearing this, Jesus said to Jairus, "Don't be afraid, just believe, and she will be healed." When he arrived at the house of Jairus, he did not let anyone go in with him except Peter, John, and James, and the child's father and mother. Meanwhile, all the people were wailing and mourning for her. "Stop wailing," Jesus said. "She is not dead, but asleep." They laughed at him, knowing that she was dead, but he took her by the hand and said, "My child, get up." Her spirit returned, and at once she stood up. Then Jesus told them to give her something to eat. Her parents were astonished, but he ordered them not to tell anyone what had happened. Here's an amazing story of Jesus bringing back to life a young girl, the daughter of Jairus. And in this story, we see that even in the face of getting the news that she had died, Jesus said, "Don't fear, but believe." That is, Jesus said this is not the end of the story, that there's life after death. And that's part of what I want to share with you today, that maybe you've gone through a loss in your life, maybe you've lost something recently, and I want to remind you that in the face of your loss, there's still something left. Hope can still be left in your life because there's something beyond it. And God is the God of resurrection. He's the God of resurrection power, and He's the God of resurrection acts, that God can take things that are dead and bring them back to life again. He can revive in you a hope for your future. So let me encourage you again, if you've lost something, lean into God. Let hope be restored to your soul today.